Hello, this is Jess. We're going to go right into our chat session number 50. Yay, we made 50. Haven't missed a day. We're going to go right into the tidbits of history. 1957. While spending the Christmas holidays at Graceland, his newly purchased Tennessee mansion, rock and roll star Elvis Presley receives his draft notice for the U.S. Army. People from all over the world were writing saying, don't make him go. He's, he makes movies and all this stuff. He was a popular guitarist, rock and roll and all that. And anyway, he was like, no, I'm going to go serve. So he went and went to war and then came back 2 years later. And, of course, the rest is, history. That was Elvis Presley. So, all right. Now we're going to go to 1969, and we're going to talk about drummer Clyde Stubblefield is not a hip-hop musician. He was born in 1943, but today a beat drawn directly from an 8-bar drum beat played by Clyde Stubblefield on what is widely believed to be the most sampled record in music history, James Brown's Funky Drummer, was recorded in Cincinnati, Ohio on this day. They mention all the main hip-hop like NWA and LL Cool J, just different big-time rap musicians, hip-hop, and they say that this particular drum beat, this 8-bar drum beat, they used all hundreds of different rappers and hip hop artists have used it, and they say it's sampled probably on the majority of the music in the hip hop industry. So that's pretty crazy. I had no idea. But anyway, that's the tidbits of history. It is December 20th, 2017, and it's Christmassy. Christmas tree. I'm going to turn the camera around and give you a shot of it. Let's do this right here. We go. Christmas tree. Just letting you see it over there. It's Christmassy, and it's getting close, and it'll be here I guess in 5 days, huh? Alright, so what's the topics these days? Net neutrality, the tax bill, let's see, what else has happened? The war that we're building up to in North Korea, the Russia meddling of our 2016 election, I don't know. At what point do we as citizens decide that we're just going to let everything be out of control concerning our government without voicing our protest, without voicing our opinion? I mean, there's so many things to protest nowadays, but there has to be a real cleaning of the way that our government system operates. We do have an executive, a legislative, and a judicial branch, and neither one nor the other is more powerful than the other, right? Well, I guess there's boundaries, and it seems like this administration that we're currently operating under is really pushing those boundaries and throwing executive ball curve hooks to the other two branches. Maybe it's not bothersome to anybody else. Maybe everybody thinks, hey, this is great. This, I can go and play golf, or I can go and throw a frisbee, or I can go swimming, or I can surf, or I can go to work. I mean, some people are just like, hey, what's everybody complaining about? It's just rules and regulations that they put in place. Screw it. Well, that may have been fine in a lesser technological day than we're in now. The implementation of rules and regulations that they pass while no one pays attention in the government affects you and me and everybody to some degree. But the government shouldn't be a business. It should be a governing body that represents the people that live here in this country. And when that fails to happen, we get the situation of all these freedoms that we as American citizens should have, and we don't, because they pass legislation saying we don't. And yet we sit here and as a people and just like saying, whatever, who cares? And our freedom erodes. I mean, think of that when next time you buckle your seatbelt and you realize that if you don't buckle it, you're going to get a ticket. And that sort of forces you to buckle it. And why do I have to be instructed like a little kid to wear a belt? Because they think better than I do? If the belt's there and I don't use it, then that makes me a dumbass. But to be forced to do it, or else I'm going to get punished with a ticket and pay money, yeah, I think that's the first, right there was one of the major new quick implementation projects that the government uses to gain control of us. It gives them reason to pull you over if you're not wearing your belt so they can see what you're doing. That's called a deep police state, where the business of yours becomes the business of the police because you make an infraction like not buckling your seatbelt. It spreads from that to all these different areas now where bad things that are being done, nobody's saying nothing about. They just keep pressing the boundaries, pushing further and further. And when they get stalled, they just back up and then they roll again. And bad legislation is being pushed through our government this year that's going to affect me as I grow older, and it's going to affect my children. And they're not even paying attention. And yet all these things are going to come, and it's going to become commonplace to where the next generation is just going to have to accept whatever is given to them because it's going to be against the law if they don't. And that's where we're heading. That's just my opinion. I don't care how much money you make. Happy days for you. Go spend it. Have a blast. I could give a crap if you're a billionaire, a trillionaire, or you have $1. It makes no difference to me. Because in the first place, when you really push the reality, money is nothing. But we're so tied to it. It's because we think that's what we have to survive. And I think that's bullshit. But that's just whole nother story. I'm not even going to get into that right now. This is Jess, chat session number 50. Yay, hee-haw, I made 50. And I will be back tomorrow with hopefully another chat session. It's Wednesday night. No, wait, what is Thursday?
Wednesday, I think.
Okay, today's Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday evening. Bye.